Hello, 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 hello. I think we're live. It says we are. How's everybody doing? It's Saturday night. It is the full moon weekend. It's the day before the full moon. And yeah, this is the Star Room. My name is G. You're watching Allastrology. So every Saturday or every other Saturday, we are here doing readings. This, I think, is the 5th Saturday of the month, so we kind of switch things up on the 5th Saturday of the month because it's a rare thing, and usually it's it's the creator's choice for Saturday night. So this particular Saturday, yep, we're still going to do readings. For anybody who wants a quick reading, that's fine. Make sure I have your digits. If I don't, I'm going right to the next person because tonight is mystical, magical, metaphysical. All right. If you got stories, if you have experiences, we want to hear them. I want to hear them. I have a couple of stories. They're not my own stories, but stories that were shared to me with me. And I am really not the best storyteller at all. So I really, really wish I was. I'm so much better in writing it down and then editing like 3, maybe 17 times. And then my stuff makes sense. But other than that, yeah, I'm just not a great storyteller. So I will tell, with their permission, of course, which I already got, their version of what happened to them and the really amazing experience and why it was magical and mystical or whatever you want to call it. But first things first, order of business. If we have people who need readings, we'll take care of business. For those who have the means, if you like need me to spend more time on your chart, like seriously, then you can send a gift to the channel. Otherwise, everyone gets a speed reading. All right. The Venmo, the PayPal, they are right below this live stream. Can't miss them. It says PayPal, it says Venmo. Or I think CashApp is what it is. Venmo and CashApp. Whoops. Sorry. So yeah, you can check that out. And yeah, so from there, we're going to see what's going on here. Think of your stories for anybody that's in the chat. You got to show up in the chat if you want a reading, if you want to be part of the fun or whatever you call this. But I'm, yeah, at the heart, that's that mystical, magical, metaphysical stuff. That's the realm I like. So it's always fun to do that. But I usually, I like to hear other people's experiences and how that's, how that happened in their life, how it showed up in their life. What was it? I think it gives especially a little bit of inspiration. And I don't know. I think some people think maybe those types of things are made up and they're just made for movies. But they're definitely not. They are the real deal. And sure, somebody could lie and make a whole freaking story up and we wouldn't know, right? But this isn't really, this focus is really to kind of, it's really, I think, to kind of maybe build some depth into the unseen, as opposed to us being so oozing with the 3D, with this knock on wood realm, like this is the reality and this is all there is. And that is like so untrue. So this is one of the other reasons I really like to have those stories brought out. And again, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know. All right, so let me start off. Frank, what is going on? Yes, it's been a while. How you been? Boss man, we'll call you boss man after. Well, you know why we're going to call you boss man. Victoria Channel, how the heck are you doing, Victoria? Fairy there, how are you? Good to see you. Just happened to be at the computer when the notice. Oh, that was nice of you to flip it on. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm very curious to see what you have planned for tonight. Oh, there you go. Mystical, magical, metaphysical. That's tonight. Watkins Cat House, how the heck are you doing? Yep. And Zippity Doo did not waste any time. I remember you from the last week, Zippity Doo. I think it was last week, or maybe it was last Tuesday. Anyway, the last live stream, whenever the heck that was. Kel's emailed info. Very good. Kel, stop. How are you doing? It's been a minute, huh? All right. Ah, okay, Victoria. Did I look at you last week? The contract breaker thing. Yeah. Hey, healing. How are you, Donna Marie? Hope you're doing well. Love mystical, right? I mean, you gotta love it, right? You just gotta love it. I would imagine it's difficult for people that I don't know. I think when yeah, I don't know. I think when people have really strong analytical and active minds as far as rationalization, it might block some of that stuff for people. And so that is another reason that I like to hear and share stories. Okay, so yeah, and they don't necessarily have to be like paranormal, spooky things, but they can absolutely be those things. Anything in that realm, anything that we can't really rationalize or explain would fall into those categories. Okay, so let me get to work so that we can. So Frank, are we looking at anything for you, or are we moving on? If you're not getting a reading, then just say pass. That'll help me to act like I'm organized. Like in reading your guys' charts. I see I've got some folks who are ready, or who are ready for a reading, who are serious about a reading. People who, okay, so Frank, I see what you got. Nothing, just what do you see? Okay. Oh, you want to see mystical coming up. Oh, right. Astro class. Thank you for the reminder on that, Frank. Yeah, Astro class is coming up. The second Saturday of every month, we do an Astro class. Really doesn't matter where you're at in astrology. If you feel like you're an old hand at it, well, the refresher will do you good, and I'm pretty darn sure you will absolutely learn some new things. And for those who don't know anything, it's a great place to start. Really is. We we go. We're pretty methodical. Yep, pretty much nobody leaves without a question. So. Anyway, that's the second Tuesday of every month. If you're interested, send me an email. Same email I got down below. Let me know. All right, so just what do you see? Okay, let me go. Frank, let me look at your chart then. Do we have anything? That's right. Mystical, magical is on the agenda. And let me get that up here for Frank. Let's see here. Sample, star room. There we go. We got to get to the star room. Let's see. I have you as Elliot, don't I? Or the other way around? No, I actually have Frank. Look at that. Capricorn rising. Sounds like you. All right, let's get that on the screen just so that I'm sure about that. I think it's this one. I got too many charts on here. All right. All right. So Frank, this is your chart, right? I just want to double check just to make sure. All right, Frank, got your chart up. Capricorn on the ascendant, Cappy moon, Cappy rising. This is yours, right, Frank? I don't know why I kept thinking you were like Aquarius moon in my head. It turned out to be the Metatron's cube in a weird way. Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Metatron's cube. Cool. A vision, a dream. Yeah, very interesting. And I've heard people talk about that in terms of having that same experience. Let me see. It's funny, I never retract people who come with their near-death experience stories either. Not that I'm saying we need to do those, not at all. It just, for some, I don't know how that works. Some people, I guess, feel, I don't know, they're drawn to that. But yeah, I prefer, anything and everything that's mystical. So Frank, here we go. Here's your chart. Frank said, give me something. What's something good? Yeah, okay, let's do something mystical, magical, metaphysical for Frank. Well, the Aquarian energy in your first house, and then that Pisces on that second house cusp line. Mystical, magical. Do you know that you're 10 degrees Pisces on your second house cusp line? That is Michael Jackson's ascendant at 10 degrees of Pisces. Okay, so in his chart, 10 degrees of Pisces would be his ascendant, and then he has a nice, beautiful, sweet trine to 10 degrees of Cancer. Yeah, you have 11 degrees of Cancer. So you do have a nice trine, actually. And then you've got at the top of that trine in Scorpio at 15 degrees. Scorpio, yep, that is definitely mystical, magical energy. That is metaphysician. This is Pythia. And you know what Pythia is? The oracle. The oracle of, I don't know how, if it's Delphi, the oracle. That's who this is. So tuning into messages from other realms. Or we could have our mind in a fog and have moments of confusion, but the idea is that the oracle can kind of bring information. Maybe even considered a visionary, especially in your ninth house. That would be Jupiter energy that tunes in. And Frank, you have it. I should really pull this up on a chart I can expand on. But at 15 degrees, that's the mind energy. You follow? That's your mind. So when you have that oracle energy there and it's in Scorpio, it's really dipping into the occult. Remember, Scorpio and the mind energy mixed together is like the freaking super detective, the investigator. So Frank, have you ever like done, oh, I don't know, channeling or dipped into the other side in that way where you felt like you were making contact? I don't know, maybe even with dead loved ones type of energy? Because I have a good friend actually whose chart is really kind of similar to yours. And she's a great medium. Great medium. She's got all that smart Virgo in the 8th house, and she's smart as a whip. And so many times we can, connect with that other side. And you even have Pluto in the 8th house too, which is, absolutely the undercurrents, the buried below, the deep, the stuff that's not on the surface. It's that deep subconscious stuff, but also the other side, the mystical and the magical. So having your Uranus and your Pluto there, that talks about your power. And your power is in that combination, maybe of the boss energy and maybe being that big boss man energy in another timeline, for sure, in the 8th house, right? Because authority figure is Aquarius energy, but Pluto is all about, here is my power. I have my power. So your power, Frank, really, truly, with the Pluto energy there, your power, and where is it at? At work. It's in Virgo. So this is it's kind of interesting in light of some of the things you shared in the astrology class, like with coworkers and stuff, right? Uh, yeah, really kind of fascinating. And I think that your Uranus and your Pluto being in a retrograde intensifies that energy. It kind of amps it up. It does make it internal. So what that means is that you may not be aware of the power that you project. You follow, and the authoritative tone. Not that doesn't have to mean like I'm mean, right? It just means like, this is like some responsible dude who knows what he's doing. And and that comfort level, even possibly, because that power is connected there to it. Because I think we talked about confidence, but that's definitely going back to that 9th house energy as well. All that strong confidence with the hidden and the unseen and the occult, because you're able to pick up on the nuances. That's Scorpio. They can penetrate energy, and you have that at your midheaven. And your midheaven has, more of that mystery there. But yours, with that Neptune, no wonder. Neptune is about visions and visuals. And so I'm not surprised getting visions and visuals with the Neptune at a midheaven, because it's imagery, but also sound, of course, music and creativity. But it's almost as though this would be a signature thing for being able to be creative, but it might be a sort of creativity where it's almost like soul sounds, like the soul's music, because it's going to be deep and it's going to have like a purposeful meaning to it, maybe even healing, because that's the Scorpio energy. And yeah, on that note, yeah, sometimes our stuff, our work, our craft, our passion, sometimes if people don't if they're not into it at the moment, right? Sometimes it takes a while. And sometimes I know I brought up Emily Dickinson and there's so many others where people don't truly appreciate their stuff until like a long time after they're gone. So either way, if it's part of that soul's work that you're doing, yeah, it's kind of like that stuff you just do and it's, thankless. You just do it because it's what your soul wants you to do. So yeah. All right, let's move on. Let me see here. Frank after Frank, we have Victoria. All right, Victoria, I think I saw you saying you were here and you were like, yeah, let's do this, but I may be confused. Let's see. Okay, Victoria's got the digits. I think, okay, able to break contract. Okay, let's see. Oh, Victoria. All right, let's get that up real quick and take a peek. I think I might have you here, but let me check. So Victoria was number 2. And we just go in order. If there's anybody watching or if you're in the chat, we just go in order in the way that you appear in the queue. So saying hello in the queue would be a good idea if you actually want to participate. Otherwise, I won't know you're there. All right, let's go to the V's. Victoria, did I have you in here as Victoria? Yeah. March 21st, 1971. Excellent. Got you in here. All right, let's get this on the screen. And I think I've only looked at this maybe once, maybe more than once. I think it was only once. I don't know. So Victoria, this is your chart, right? I think I remember just looking at this, but Pisces on the rising at 21 degrees, Aries sun at 0, and your moon is a Capricorn. Ooh. Ooh, angelic realm, the house of assistance and help from a group. Some would say friends, which, here's the thing too. There is a belief. Well, what? I'll save that for later on. Hopefully I remember this shit. Okay. So 17 degrees, 16 degrees and 17 degrees. These are conjunct. And you had a comment, a question, a concern about work, about job, about will I be able to break my contract? Okay, so your long-term contract, you're trying to break it this month and move on. Okay. And you're asking, will I be able to? Well, first things first, I would definitely pull out the contract and take a look at it and see what it says. That's where I would begin to at least discuss the realities of it for yourself. Now, with that said, let me see. I do have Uranus that's about to... Uranus is going to touch your 3 degrees, which is your 3rd house cusp line. And, okay, I just got to look at some other things here. You have Uranus all the way up there. Yeah, you got your Venus over there at 20. Okay, that's all pretty low. I think I did look at this last week. So you have something at 347. You have something at 5, which is important. Let me see. You're going to have Neptune over here at 4, and then you're going to have Pluto. Oh. You have Pluto right now on Sekhmet in Aquarius. Okay. This is more break-free, break-out energy. And the 4/5 degrees are important. Oh. So you have Neptune trining Neptune right now. Holy shit. Okay. Interesting. I mean, you have a Neptune in Saggy. That might make a dream come true. Wow. On your third house cusp line. Oh, wow. Strong energy. Okay, so let's pull this up. All right, so this Pluto's going backwards. It's going to touch Sekhmet. And you know what Sekhmet is, right? The Egyptian goddess. She is a warrior goddess as well as the goddess of medicine. It does talk about an experience of a death and a rebirth, cleansing through suffering, leading to healing and a rebirth. So Pluto backing up to the 4 degrees and touching upon that can be something where I'm kind of starting over. But it's this Uranus here too. So let me take a quick peek for you. Let me go and see something. I have to double check and see like how much time am I spending here because I gotta. Okay. Oh, thank you, Donna. I see. Okay. Cal associated. All this. Oh, Kels, I'm gonna have to get back to that in a second since I'm working on this one. Okay. All right, Kels and Donna, I got your emails. We'll get there in a second. Thank you so much. All right, so see, there's that Uranus energy. It already popped to 4. So let's back it up a little bit because I'm thinking, yeah, if it's going to happen, this 4 degrees would be important. But I think your Uranus at 3 would be a big deal too. Okay, so let's see what it connects with anything for you. Okay, Virgo. Okay, then we're going over there into your Pisces. Oh, wow. Okay, so you do have something over here at 3. In terms of a trine, so these two are going to be together. This is, man, that's July 2nd. It looks like you are going to be doing something new and feeling like maybe you need to break away. It'll be Uranus and Mars connected, but that's at the end of the month, the very end of the month. But I don't know if that means you're going to be breaking away from the contract and it's all going to work out just all fine and dandy. I mean, normally, you know. Plus, there's a Mercury retrograde that's going to occur. Okay. Where's your natal Mercury? Oh, it's all in your first house. Yeah, you might have to wait a little bit. Saturn is going to do a retrograde right on your Mercury. You might have to wait a little bit. Mercury retrogrades usually create slowdowns and delays, and so does Saturn. And Saturn definitely is more about follow the rules, the structure, the order, no shortcuts. Saturn says no shortcuts. I realize this is in your first house. And then we go and look at the Saturn in your chart, and it's at the goddamn contract degree. Yeah, you have Saturn in Taurus, and it's sitting there saying, yeah. So what that tells me is just for this quick look and looking at the I would say that if it does happen, it would be a complete surprise. It would be like, how did that happen? It would have to take, Jupiter is not even your benefic. Holy shit. Okay. I was going to say it would have to take Jupiter. Okay. Then in your chart, it would have to take Venus energy and it will be in fire. Okay. Well, so just so you have a heads up, this Venus, like the 3rd week of June, Venus is in Leo by then, and she starts touching in, and she'll trine Saturn and she'll trine Mercury. So maybe there's a possibility, but from the basics of your natal Saturn in your chart, yeah, and freedom is what you want up there at the midheaven with Saggy. But see, Jupiter isn't your great benefic. Okay, so yeah, I would say that if Venus can somehow swing it, I'm not saying she's going to swing. I'm saying if she can, because Venus bows down to Saturn, and your Saturn's at a contract degree of going for the long haul. So, um, the only other thing I can see that may be a possibility is that you're going to have Venus touching your south node, but that's not until the beginning of July. So again, the very beginning of July, like the first 5 days, it looks like something's going to be occurring for you. But if something happens earlier than that, if it happens in June, well, then I think it's more of a surprise. There was a disruption. There was some just very unconventional type of thing that just kind of came up and kind of created maybe even a little bit of chaos. And sometimes that happens, things get thrown up into the air and then you see where they fall. And sometimes people end up being lucky. So if that happens, let us know, because I'd be interested to see how this works out with a person who has a Saturn in Taurus that says there's no shortcuts, especially when there's a contract involved. So, yep, let me know. All right, Fairy there, you're next. You're number 3. Are you here? And did you want a reading, or are we moving on? Fairy just said, I'm just happen to be here because she came up. Let me see my phone. I didn't even check my darn phone. Let me give the live stream a thumb. Did y'all do that? I don't know if I didn't even find the damn live stream. I should probably do that first. Click on the live and see if I can read this chat and give it a like. Yeah. I mean, what the hell? Fairy there says I'm here. Victoria says I'm pretty lucky. Well, then let us know. Seriously. Well, you know what? Let us know. And then at that time, if it works out in your favor, I already have in my head what I'll be checking out to see how did that work. All right. So Fairy there says, can I have the link? Yeah, you can have the link. Let's, let me get a link for you, Fairy there. If I can find the damn link. All right, Fairy there. Here it comes. I'm going to put it in the thing for you. Okay, Fairy there. We're dropping the link for you. Fairy there, am I pulling your... Okay, Foxy, somebody, I see you down there with your digits. Good job. Okay, very good. Fairy there, I dropped the link for you. Jackie, I sent a Venmo. Oh, okay, so Foxy is Jackie. Yeah, that's good to know. Okay, Jackie, we'll definitely get to you. Thank you for the channel gift. And thank you very, very much. Thank you so much. All right, so we got a lot of work to do tonight. Okay. Oh, here we go. Let's get that link in here real quick so we can get Fairy there up here. Fairy there, it says it said that your device is not connected. So you were, but then it bounced you out, I guess, or something. Or maybe your internet wasn't strong. That's usually what happens. No. Well, no, it says it's telling me to tell you will need to connect your microphone and your camera before I can add you to the stream. That's what StreamYard's telling me. Mm-hmm. You follow? All right. So Fairy there said I give up. Okay, Fairy there. Maybe you can catch me during the week then. Yeah, if the thing ain't strong, it just becomes a pain in the butt. Okay, so now we're going the next one, Watkinson Cat House. It shows that you're next. Are you here, Watkinson Cat House? And am I looking at your chart? And Victoria says that's what I was going to tell them the 3rd week of June. Well, like I said, check your contract, and if it doesn't look like something that, they can legally hold you to, then yeah, maybe you can do it. But yeah, you got that strong Saturn. You got that fixed Saturn. Aw, fairy there. Yeah, sorry it couldn't work for you. It just kept saying that you weren't connected. All right, so I'm trying to see, is Watkinson Cat House here? When I call your name, if you don't respond, if I don't see you here, I gotta move on. The Mandela effect story that happened to me. Well, we would definitely love to hear it, but yep, I can't. I'm definitely not a tech wizard. Not at all. I come with my whole bag of challenges when it comes to the tech. Absolutely. Okay, so Watkinson, no response. We're going to the next name then. Watkinson might have, who knows, got something to eat, had to leave. So after Watkinson, Zippity Doo, you're next. Zippity Doo, are you here? Denmark, are you here, Denmark? Come on in. Show up in the chat. Let me know if you're here. If I don't see you come back in when I call your name, I'm going to the next person. Zippity Doo's here. Hello, hello. Good job, Zippity Doo. All right, let me get your chart. Have we looked at you before? I don't think we got to you the last time. Love your name. I mean, in astrology, we need as much fun as possible. I know I do. This shit gets overly serious really quick. Does that say March 16th? Oh, 1959. Okay, 4:40 p.m. Very good. Have you seen your chart before? $4:40 p.m. and Roskilde. Never heard of that. I don't get out much though, so I like hearing and looking at charts that I've never created before. Oh, that was wild. What the hell was that? That was interesting. Zippity Doo, have you seen your chart before? Let me get it on the screen and then we can, I got to make sure it's your chart. That's a big deal. Making sure that it matches you. Yeah, Zippity Doo-dah. That's a great song. All right. This is a Virgo rising. And Pisces sun, of course. And a Gemini moon. Ooh. Okay. Moon conjunct Rigel, conjunct Mars. Wow. Technology, talking, digital stuff, sales, communications for career, for job. That's all that Gemini energy. Learning, teaching would be emotionally satisfying. That would be a big deal for a moon up there. But being quite active in it. You never saw your star map before. Cruds. How do we know if this is you? Well, you're going to probably be, yeah, I have a feeling this is probably you with that name. Do you love social media? Are you good with words? Let me see if you got anything with the angling side of it. You've got a trine to your moon from your north node. Okay. A sex, okay. That's kind of a nice thing. This says you have Jupiter. So sales, learning, teaching, preaching, higher education even possible. Anybody who, white collar workers, people who strong communication skills, publishing even. You got lawyer energy, equality, fairness, freedom, rights. That's all pretty strong. It's all part of the value system with your second house of values, partnerships, personal and professional. A really big deal in your chart. Let's see here. This one says you've got Saturn at the 6th, so that's a nice place to have your Saturn. However, well, you got mostly Saggy in your 4th house of emotions. So Sagittarius energy can be quite confident and they love adventure. You would need adventure. Maybe travel would be your form of adventure or a home that's on the road type of thing, always on the move because you also have Jupiter at 1. Look at your 7th, 8th, and 9th. A lot of Aries. Holy crap. Really assertive energy, always starting. So relationships. The occult even. Wow. Do you feel like you're a deep diver or that you're dabbling in lots of different areas of the mystical and the occult kind of stuff? Anything that would be considered, even psychology possibly? And then you have Uranus at 12 in a retrograde, your Pluto, your Leo energy, very lively, colorful, entertaining. This is, when people have the Leo in the 12th, they can be very much about being performative energy, putting on a show of some sort. But laughter and fun and feeling like a kid is going to be important. This shows that this is in your 12th house. So this means this might be kind of hidden in some way, right? Part of the psychology, even where we're not necessarily expressing it. However, this Uranus would actually probably be pretty over the top. And placed in the 11th house, your mind would probably be pretty sharp and pretty quick and very quirky even. So yeah, maybe that zippity doo dah makes sense. Let me see 12 degrees. What is that? Oh yeah, wow. It trines your Mercury in your south node. Okay. Interesting. Wow. Groups and friend energy, but again, entertainment. Number 12 comes up in multiple ways. Interesting. So that number 12 in the Aries, yeah. Communicating. How do you feel about mystical stuff? Maybe that's why you're here. Maybe that's your journey. But you're past 13 degrees, a focus on self and maybe escalating, maybe elevating. Your future is supposed to be, yeah, about the balance, the equality, the fairness, being the bridge, diplomacy even. Does any of this ring a bell for you? Now, your Pisces sun makes you sensitive and probably needing a partnership. If this is your chart, even though Pisces can handle solitude, in your 7th house, this says partnerships will give me energy. Yeah. Partnership with self too is a big deal because you got 25 degrees, but man, you're battling a lot of Aries energy. Even your Venus, even your freaking Venus. That Venus energy focused like that with Aries, it's a love for self, maybe ego and pride, maybe a little bit of that in there. But very youthful, possibly. Yeah, this is all kind of subconscious. This is all showing this in your 8th house. So that might mean that emotionally, there's some vulnerabilities and some wounds about how I handle deep, intense emotional things. And it might be kind of like in a way that youthful people do that. There might be some, we can be, what's the word? I don't know. However, a young person might express emotional things. They might not want to talk about them. They might be confused by them. They might want to cover them up. But your Venus is at a degree where she might be a little on the things might seem fuzzy at times, especially when we're talking about history in the past and deep, intense stuff, especially if there was trauma. Because a physical body in the 8th house does talk about trauma to the body. Okay, I'm checking back into the chat now just so I can see because we don't even know. Yeah, you haven't seen your chart. We can't confirm it, but You said, well, my brother brought me tarot cards for a reason. Okay, so does this sound like you then, Zippity Doo? Yeah, you just got a ton in this occult area. A lot of Aries stuff. So it's like a lot to learn, but yet, um, with your Venus at that degree, she's got some experience here, but again, there's confusion. Like she's got to do a lot of practicing to work on the craft type of energy. But my lord, the bursts, almost like lightning bolt kind of bursts that come through because of the Aquarian stuff. Fun, entertaining. That's Aquarian energy, and you've got it right at the opposition of your Uranus energy in Leo. So yeah, astrology would be a thing for you. Whether it is or now or not, maybe not, but maybe eventually. So you think that sounds like you? Yeah, so for your mystical magical, well, here's your thing. Pluto in your 12th house. Pluto does really good in the 12th. So getting information in my dreams, whether it's visuals during the day, like that just suddenly come through. The thing with Virgo is that it's really kind of practical. So some people with that Virgo energy, it might be like while they're cleaning, while they're washing dishes, while they're doing laundry. It's almost meditative in that way. But sleep and dreams and maybe having to like write things down, right? Kind of tracking information that came to you. But man, your 8th house stuff, this is like you on this big adventure. This is the pioneer energy. This is going where no man has gone before. So whether it's you practicing connecting to the other side for mediumship, because your Venus has the ability to do that, and your South Node. Your South Node says that you actually have experience at this because it sits in your 8th house. And it's, some people have to be active. They don't like to just sit for a meditation. They have to do, I don't know, some people have to walk, but Mars energy would have to be kind of active. Aries would have to be like moving around, doing something that might even, some people would like, I don't know, take it and be very physical. So this could be like martial arts, right? Have you ever, anything like that? Anything where it is physically using my body, but it has like, there's a purpose. It's not just a sporadic, silly, willy type of thing. 8th house is meaningful and purposeful. Okay. And to bring about a healing, but possibly for you, the mystical, magical, you have so much here. This says you could be a leader, possibly, of some of the occult themes. Okay, because Aries, when it graduates, it gets to that leadership level, and it says, "Oh, I can maybe, lead meditation, or I can do my own whatever it is, whatever your tarot, whatever it is that you enjoy, whatever it is you like." Okay, so I think you said something about I have felt the ghosts. Okay, well then there you go. You create your ghost hunting thing, or however you want to talk about it. Mediumship, or literally. I mean, bam, seances. I've been in some really interesting experiences, and I'm going to tell you, a lot of that happened when Uranus was going through Aries. So what was that, 2008, 2009 was like when that began, or 2010. And so that was like a 7-year period with Uranus and Aries. Man, that must have been a wild time for you when it was going through your 8th house. That must have really, it should have really heightened some physical sensitivities connected to the other side and vice versa. Okay, so that was zippity doo dah. We got to move on because I got a lot of people waiting, people who've sent money. Okay, Kels, you're next. Kels Stockton, you are up next. And did I skip over Kels? Kels, did I skip over you? Oh my God, this isn't the first time this happened. I should have went to Kels before I went to Victoria. Kels, are you still here? I see Kels was before Victoria. And so was Zippity Doo Dah. How did I do that? Yeah, that was my fault. I apologize. Okay, so Kels says, hello. Oh, wait, where's Kels at? Hello, Saturday. Oh, Kels, you got like, you got a lot here. Okay, so, oh, wow. All right, let me keep track here. Okay, Kels, I got your digits. Are you still here? Kels is probably like out of here. Like, man. Okay. So, Kels, let me repeat this. January 13th, 1985, 10:31 p.m. Is that you? And are you here? Okay, let's get it up. Let's take a look at it. Open. Yeah, I'm in a different system than I was before. So sometimes people are like, but I gave you my stuff. And well, oh, Kels, I do have it here. This says, well, let me double check this with what you have there. All right. So you said January 13th, 1985, 10:31 p.m., Dallas, Texas. Okay, that's what I have. And let's get this on the screen. So, Kels, have you seen this before? I think I need water. Holy crap, do I need water? Hold on. Oh, look at all the water. Okay, Pluto at 4, Pandora at 10. Oh, so in case you don't know that, Pandora at 10 degrees, that can be, as my mom would say, a real trick bag with authority figures. People trying to have authority over you. So maybe dad energy even. Scorpio would kind of be like, no, you don't. However, this Venus, and she is your great benefic, is a nice trine to Pandora. Pandora can be like our shadow side in a way. It can be, just things that we open it up, we get into a situation, we say something, we do something, and it's a can of worms, and we're like, God, we wish you never did that. However, the authority figure, the boss energy, self and leadership, holy crap, strong in your chart in Scorpio. Like if we're going into battle, we want Kels to be our leader, folks. We're just pointing this out here. Okay. She's got Saturn and the South Node together here. So, strategizing, order, structure, how to dismantle, how to put the ship back together again. These are, Scorpios, your warriors, right? And the thing with the Scorpio energies, they don't do it just physically. They're all about the psychological part as well. So it's like they bring like the whole picture, the whole bucket, they don't bring just one tool. They got the whole bag. They got the whole bag of magic stuff and all the tools to pull out. They got the arsenal. Um, and it all trines all this freaking water you got over here. Oh, your Venus in Vertex. So feminine energy, people that you meet, can be spontaneous, sporadic. They just kind of show up in your life. Can be for 5 minutes, can be for 5 years. It doesn't mean forever energy. It's an event, it's an opportunity, it's a conversation. Um, and it might be helpful at times because you have it at 12 degrees. So that can kind of bring in karmic energy, which can be people from the past, individuals from the past. And Pisces tends to be, it wants to provide assistance and protection and help, but it also is illusions and delusions and deceptions. So that's a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky. Now, you do have Mars right next to that. And before I go any further, like I'm trying to see, I read the email, but I don't know if the email didn't say like there was a question that I saw, right? It's a cool chart. It is a cool chart. Yeah, don't feel terrible about anything. The technology, everybody, we all have issues. Shit never works when we want it to. Yeah, I kept you. Okay. Yeah, it's in the software. All your stuff's good. And then, yeah. Okay. Okay. So I don't, yeah. Okay. All right. So, Kels, yeah, I don't know if you had a question attached with this, and you don't have to, but how about the esoteric, mystical? Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. Absolutely. So, in terms of the mystical stuff, it's your South Node in Scorpio for sure. Now, the thing with that, and the Saturn being next to it, is it's Saturn and an Aries vibration together. Okay, so it's boss, but also leadership energy. So this would make it difficult, right, for other people. But if they were smart, they're like, yes, she's our team leader, without a doubt, because you have the leadership qualities. All right. Now, the mind energy, in the combination with it, you have the Sagittarius and you even have Uranus energy there. So, in ways that you communicate, learning, teaching, but taking information in and sharing it back out, it's going to be super fast, really fast. So, there would just have to be a little bit of caution, because this Jupiter energy, there might be sometimes when details, because it's Jupiter, you know how Jupiter is with details, right? Yeah, not a fan. So you just have to be aware of that. Um, but overall, this mystical, magical stuff and connecting, oh yeah, yeah. You've got Pisces in the sixth house, which means, these folks. I've seen lots of charts like this. These folks will, especially in times when their health isn't real good, sixth house, they can even hear the angels singing, like they literally like the angelic realm steps in and they can hear, and it's like, okay, I'm surrounded, I'm protected. So I would say that this is a really nice thing in your chart. And because your descendant, mystical, magical Pisces energy, asking for assistance, your partnership is right there, 25 degrees. So 25 degrees would be somebody who is a fighter. So when we think of who is that? Michael, Archangel Michael. I'd have to look. I have a list of those archangels and like where they're located in someone's chart. I don't have it in front of me though. But this degree and it having this in Pisces, and it trines your South Node and your Saturn, your boss energy. And we don't take shortcuts energy. This is the way things are supposed to be done. And there's a reason, there's a reason the system is set up this way. It does trine that partnership stuff. So the only other thing about that is, and it can be positive, but again, anytime we deal with Pisces, it can be tricky. But healing hospitals, healing institutions, partnerships, this is all of that. So if that's something that that you're connected to, which I would recommend, because you even have a nice huge water trine, Cancer at the 11th, working with and for the public. Again, 11th house, the mystical realm, the angelic realm. And here's the other thing. I'm just going to throw this out there since we're already into it. When we talk about the angelic realm, the teaching is that every person, every soul that's incarnated into a physical body, an angel is assigned to that soul. Each person has a personal, private angel that is literally this close to us at all times. And many times it's because we don't ask for the help, because they cannot step forward unless we ask for help. So there's a piece of that mystical, magical for you in this chart. All right, now let me back this up a little bit and see so I don't skip anybody. Let me try to go. Sometimes I scroll too damn fast, apparently. Okay, so we got Zippy, we got Frank, we got Kels. Thank you for your patience, Kels. Gaming with friends, you said hello, but if you don't show digits, then we're just going to keep on going. And then it comes to healing. Donna Marie, are you here? You are up next, I believe, because I don't see anything with gaming. And Donna, I know you sent a gift to the channel, so we want to get you on here. And there's other folks that have, so we want to get them on here too. Tell me what you see. Oh, Frank, I'm so sorry. I'm just seeing your other email, Frank, about something that happened a long time ago you would like to talk about. Okay, as soon as we get through these, I'm going to get you on because we all want to hear it. Um, all right, so Donna, are you still here? I got your digits, and thank you again. So, okay, that was what I needed, his name, because I think I have it in here under his name. Let me get his name up here. Let me get his chart up here, I mean. Yeah, I got it. Great. That helps so much. So am I doing mystical, magical with this chart, Donna? Mystical, magical, metaphysical with this chart? Let me check the chat and see what she's got to say about that. Anything on his health? Okay. All right. No problem. No problem. Okay. Let's take a peek here. Okay, so health, we're going to look at the 6th house. We're going to look at Virgo. Oh, okay. Virgo's at the midheaven. Okay. 15, 16. Okay. So what I did notice, yeah, I've seen his chart before. What I did notice is anytime, he's got his Uranus and his Pluto really close to each other here. And he's got a lot here. He's got this huge Virgo stellium, which is the health, right? Usually can be abdomen, stomach, digestion, like this would be, so yeah, all those things in that realm for health. And it's a nice trine because he's got Earth in the 6th house. His moon is right there. So that's lovely. Let's go and do this so we can see. The node is at 3, and here we go. Okay, so his Mars is at 3. So he has the node, which, by the way, folks, the node, yeah, just went to 3 degrees tonight within the last hour. So this is talking and communication, social media. It's what we're doing here tonight, learning, teaching, speaking. His Mars and his Sun are close together. He has the South node in a nice trine to his Mars. So physical body. Let me see if Mars is his great malefic. He's got Mars in Taurus. He had his Mars return, which talked about a new cycle with his body, a new cycle in his health, possibly. It can be health and health connected to work as well, the health of his job. And so if there's anything going on at the job, stress, tension, overwork, it will directly affect his health because it's all connected here. How he makes money and his income is in his house of health. So whether he works in some way connected with healthcare in some way, because even Virgo can be healthcare, nurses, nursing, that whole kind of thing. But usually the Uranian and the Pluto kind of stuff, and Cappy energy can be boss energy. He's got that in the 2nd house, management and that kind of stuff. But still, it's all connected. So Mars right now is at 9 degrees. Mars represents inflammation just in general, okay? And it is at 9. So if there is any sudden inflammation, Mars can bring that on because this Mars right now at 9 is trining his midheaven, which is Virgo at 9, okay? Which can exaggerate inflammation. It can exaggerate maybe anything that's going on with the health, maybe stomach or gut issues. So I would really, let me go look at a different chart for him because we want to look at the new cycle that began for him to see if this is, well, a health cycle. Okay. All right. So we are focused on valuing energy. Yeah. The sun is our energy. So his energy and the energy connected to his physical body even, but it's just, the sun can also be heart energy as well. Um, so he's going to have Saturn by retrograde. Okay, Saturn's going to be up here going through Aries in his 5th house. Okay, so 5th house energy, when you connect it to the physical body, because Saturn is like at 14 degrees in his 5th house, and he has Aries there, right? So this may be even gallbladder stuff, because that's where Saturn sits. Now, maybe it's nothing big. Maybe it's, what do they call that? If it's not stones, sludge or something is what they call it. That's that 5th house energy. And Saturn's going to do a retrograde. And when it does, let me see if you've got any angles here, or if he's got any angles. Yeah, the 14 degrees is Vega. Okay. He doesn't have a planet right there at 14, though, but he does have something at 16. And that's moon energy. So home and family, mom energy possible. Oh, I got Taffy at the door. She's meowing at me. All right, we got Venus going through the 7th house. We got Uranus in the 7th house for sure. All right, Venus on his... Okay, so the values in the relationships and the health. The moon is going to be going through his 8th house, though, which is the mind and the past. And this moon was just on his Jupiter, so bringing up stuff, trauma, wounds from the past. Hold on one second. Let me get... Oh, wait, maybe somebody else will let her in real quick, because she's definitely meowing. All right, let me pull up another chart really quickly for you, for him, to see if we have anything that backs this chart up, to see if it's similar. Okay, so again, in this chart, Venus in his house of health. Okay, and Venus is his great benefic. Now, there might be some health stuff, because in both those other charts I just looked at, Venus is in his house of health both times, and Venus is his great benefic. So that's actually a good thing, but that means that Saturn is not his great benefic. That means that Saturn is the one that's kind of like going to create slowdowns and restrictions to his reality. But it's to his body, because Saturn in his other chart is in the Aries energy. So let me see how long Saturn or Venus is going to be here. Yeah, that's permanent for this year. Okay, let me go back to the other one maybe. I don't see anything huge, though. Like he already had his Saturn on his Saturn. He's already done with that. So whatever it is that's happening, I don't see anything, anything really big that's jumping out. I mean, I do see that there is the nodes moved backwards. So was already like a big release. Because on this chart, his south node is on his ascendant, and it's in that Scorpio energy. So now the Scorpio energy is a little bit different when we're talking about the physical body. That talks about like the reproductive system, the sexual organs and stuff like that. Like that would be the south node. And because his is at 25, that would talk about his physical body again. But again, the node has already passed over this in this chart. And Mars can represent surgeries sometimes, for sure. So I know, Taffy, I hear you. I'm just going back to the other chart to see if we have multiple things. Well, this Mars is going to probably touch his Jupiter, though, and that might... Let me see if this is... Yeah, let's see how far we can go on this one. Yeah, that's going to be a long time off. That's what I thought. That's going to be a while. It moves like 1 degree a year. So that's far off. Yeah, for right now, that's kind of all that I see. This chart doesn't oh, wait a minute. I thought I just turned on the other chart. My bad. Oh, it didn't generate it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so for right now, it does show vertex. It does show fated energy on that south node, which would be his physical body and his appearance on his ascendant there. So that might have been like there might have been an event. And this is also the Venus degree. Oh, so it's Venus at both ends for him right now. And Venus can be associated with food and sweets, especially in Taurus energy. But it's the Mars thing. I'm thinking if there's anything, it could be the Mars stuff because of the Mars and Saturn. See the Mars and Saturn here in this chart? They're together. And is Mercury. Ah. Are y'all? This might mean, yeah, because Mercury's there in this chart. This may talk about a schedule, making a plan of action, possibly. I mean, this could be a lot of different things, but if there's something going on that's physical, yeah. And if there's surgery or, Mars stuff, inflammation stuff in the physical body. Again, I wish I knew more about I'm not really like a medical astrology person, but it's, yeah, there are some things here that, especially this vertex on here on his descendant and his ascendant at both ends. But that's usually partnerships. But on the first house, it's the physical body. It could even be head too, by the way, because 25 degrees would be this. And Mars is prone to accidents, when people are moving quickly, but Saturn is definitely a slow down, but with the physical body. And Saturn is his great malefic. So there might create restrictions and slowdowns. But because Taurus is in that second house, I would highly recommend to pay attention. Food would be a thing. Maybe there's, there could even be like allergies with Venus stuff and bees. Oh my God. In nature. That could be a thing. And he even has Sirius there at 6. That's also the Virgo degree. Maybe there's some, because I have no clue. But I do know that in this other chart, the South Node is here at 7, and this is at 6. So there is a connection to Sirius, which is connected to food, but nature, all things Taurus, the earth. So again, I don't know if that helped because I just don't feel like I know enough about medical stuff. So does that help about his health, Donna? Let me see, where's Donna at? Donna says, let me go to I'm here, hubby's info, anything in his health. He's intuitive, I'm sure. Arm and hand, he fell 3 weeks ago, still out of commission. Oh, no. He did have an accident. Oh, damn. Okay. Arm and hand. That's Gemini energy. 7th house. That other chart, Mars was in his 7th house. Well, you want to keep inflammation down, that's for sure. And I'm assuming you're under medical care. But yeah, Saturn and Mars in that other chart shows a slowdown, remember? Gibson Murphy, how the hell have you been? Oh my God, our matriarch. We've been lost without you. His hand is so swollen, it's crazy after 3 weeks. Wow. The swelling and the inflammation. Yeah. One wise lady, how the hell are you doing? Yeah, well, unfortunately, because this chart shows these two together, Donna, and they don't move fast in this other chart. So yeah, Saturn is really slow. Saturn says, it ain't going to be fast. That's the way Saturn does business. Oh, wait a minute. We got an extra chart up on here. Okay. Yeah, I think it was that other chart. But this is what happens when Uranus and Pluto energy are like together that way. You know, things suddenly happen and then a change has to happen, right? Like something shocking and surprising. And was it like at work or just doing some regular everyday stuff, or was he doing something crazy and different? This would say it was just regular, everyday, mundane stuff. And suddenly, bam. But with the 9 degrees and the inflammation, for sure, that he's probably, that's just how his health stuff is. Yeah, Taurus is slow as well. You're right about that. Yeah. You're welcome. You are welcome. But at least we know, looking at those other charts, that, yeah, it's a bad time to have an accident when you have those other things. It's just going to slow the recovery process down. Okay, so we're moving on. I'm trying to get through this. All right, trying to get to the people have sent money, and I want to make sure we get them. And so thank you for the channel gift, Donna. Thank you again. All right, so after Donna, all right, we're going, okay. All right. I'm looking for, we did zip, okay. I am scrolling slowly and carefully. Frank, you messed with your name. So may I have a reading for a job opportunity in the near future? I'm terminated from the current one in probation area. So you have to have your birth digits in here, whoever this is right here. What is that name? Salima? Yeah, I need your birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. Okay. Hey, Teamwork, how are you doing? I'm here with CG. What's up, CG? What's up, Teamwork? Enjoying the evening outside? Yeah, it's nice here tonight, too. That's when I was going to tell them the 3rd week of June. Okay, so I have to keep scrolling. Oh, Salima, are you still here? I see a birthday. I need birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. I need all your digits, okay? All right. Okay. Foxy Fox. Hello, this is Jackie. Venmo, I sent you. Okay, Jackie. All right, Foxy Fox, you're up. Are you still here? November 22nd, 1969, Elmer, New Jersey. Foxy Fox, are you here? Let me go check the phone to make sure. Foxy Fox, have you seen your chart before? Oh, good. Foxy Fox is here. Possibly an afflicted hair. Okay. All righty. Okay, let's get this done here. All right, Foxy Fox, let's get your digits in. And I don't know if that's even Foxy Fox. I just said that. Oh, Foxy Flex. Okay. November 22nd, 1969. What do we got here? 10:44 a.m. I can see behind this microphone, if I can see the digits. Okay, and we've got Elmer, New Jersey. Oh, I can't spell Jersey. Jersey, there we go. Thank you. Okay. Okay, let's see what we have, Foxy Flex. Let's take a look at your chart. Have you seen your chart before? A mess is what I got. Have you seen your chart before? Lou S is here? Oh, I didn't even see Lou S. Maybe I did. I don't know. Well, hello, Lou S, if you're here. One wise lady. Oh, so you have seen your chart. Okay. Okay, Foxy Flex. You sent me money, so I want you to give me. What do you have a question? What do you want me to focus on for you? I don't, if people send money, I like to help them with what they need help with. So let me know, what is that? Relationship. Thank you. That'll help. All right. I will look at it for sure. I have to kind of understand your chart first before I can actually give you my. Oh, you have a 0 degrees Sagittarius sun. Okay. You have Chiron at 2 degrees in Aries. You have a retrograding sun in Taurus. Retrograding Saturn. I said sun. Retrograding Saturn in Taurus, which is in a quincunx with your Mercury in Sagittarius. This is difficult so far. That's difficult. Ooh, you have a Mars in Aquarius. Yikes. Okay. Like electricity, lightning bolts and shit. Okay, you have Uranus at 7 in Libra. This is tricky. Oh, shit. Okay, and then you have Jupiter in Libra, and you want me to talk to you about relationships. Damn, okay. Well, you have Neptune at 28. You have Venus at 14. This is going to be difficult. This is at your midheaven. Bonded energy. All right. So, all right. So this would be a chart where it's so much more than about, when we think on the surface level about, career, success, relationships. I'm in a good relationship, or I've been with so-and-so, or I'm married. It's so much more than just I want to have a good job. I want to get married. I want to have a partner. I want to have a house. I might, maybe children. I don't know. It's so much more than that. It's like, but that's already been done. That's already been done. It's not that those things aren't important. It's that there are other things that the soul has come to do. And a chart like this is a chart where there's a lot of history here. There's a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of knowledge. But it comes down to you surrendering to the soul energy and to a higher connection. Even you've got your North Node in Pisces, which talks about surrender. It's hard. The surrender is going to be hard for this kind of energy. Scorpio is a born fighter. And it's about deeply meaningful stuff too for Scorpio. I know earlier we were talking mystical, magical. It is all of that, but it's also about purpose, meaningful purpose. And when we have it at the midheaven and we're talking about partnerships, and I'm assuming committed partnerships, when we use the word partner, that's also that Saturn stuff. And so for Scorpio, it is going to want a partner that is, yeah, they have to meet you on a level, on a soul level. And if that's not there in some way, shape, or form for you, yeah, you might be willing and ready to move on, because that's Scorpio energy. It needs to see that its partner, or what or who it's committing to, has some deep, meaningful purpose and is able to evolve, change, and grow. It's the Phoenix rising energy. So it has to, like, this growth thing has to happen with Scorpio energy. Change and growth and evolving has to happen. And it doesn't have any patience for nonsense, for silly stuff. It's just intense, deep, meaningful stuff, and it expects that if it's going to be a committed relationship, it expects that in return, like the deep, intense emotions, it expects that emotional rapport. You follow? An emotional rapport. So if it doesn't feel that, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tricky. Now, does that mean you can't have that? No, it doesn't mean you can't have that. It just means it's going to be tricky because this is so strong here. Now, the Saggy also makes it tricky, and the Mercury and the freaking quincunx to the wound about love. There's a wound about myself with love and desires, values, money, self-esteem, self-worth. There's a big wound here. So self-love is going to be number one. You're going to have to make sure you got that down, like, under lock and key, and nobody can mess with that with you, that you really feel real good and confident about yourself, and that you have a healthy dose of self-love, not egotistical love, but self-love. And I didn't mean egotistical, but prideful, not prideful, which Aries, yeah. Well, ego and pride actually can be Aries energy. And the Saggy stuff, man, it think it's the authority. It thinks it's the boss. It thinks it is the wisest of the wise, and it can be hard. It can be hard because it's, if somebody knows everything and feels that they're the, whatever, it can just be tricky. They feel they not only know what's true, but they know the truth. And so that can be tricky. And I haven't even talked about your freaking Mars. So you're right. This is interesting. I haven't even addressed the Libra stuff. This wants to be independent. You have it. This wants independence and freedom. This absolutely wants freedom. And it's in the house of freedom. So to me, like, use this for justice and the law, and like lawyer energy in the courtroom type of stuff. Like, this would be a fighter for those who can't fight for themselves, and that kind of energy. But yeah, Jupiter comes up in so many ways in your chart. It's big. But yeah, the relationships wants new and exciting and different and unconventional. So you would have to find another being who can match all the quirks, all the quirkiness. But freedom is huge here. Freedom in so many ways. Freedom of beliefs, freedom to, go and explore and have an adventure where I want, when I want. Travel is huge, but beliefs, philosophy on life, and the freedom to honor those. Meaning my partner might not have that same philosophy. And if they don't, what happens when, like, a big event happens? Like we all faced during the pandemic. And that's what it was about. People, oh my God, we all don't have the same philosophy on how to handle this or how to respond. And that's became a battle, literally. So, wow, what a chart. Jupiter is your great benefic, but your chart screams Aries energy in a lot of ways, and freedom and independence in so many ways. Other than Uranus, your Mars, holy shit. This can be spiritual activity, though, which I like for this, especially because it's in your first house, but it also might be elusive activity, like spontaneous, disruptive, but I can kind of just disappear and I'm out of here, because it's Aquarius that says, I got to break free, God damn it. And you're not the boss of me type of thing. Um, let me see if you've got anything. Okay, so that trines the fight, that trines the Libra energy, always wanting to start relationships possibly. Um, but equality and fairness would be important. That would be important. Equality, fairness, and freedom, and not in those orders. Thank God you have a Taurus moon. Holy shit. This is what saves you. Now, that's a double-edged sword, though. Shit. Oh, man. It does trine your Pallas Athena. So that's nice because she's the strategist and she can think long-term and long-term goals and long-term commitments. This is overseas, by the way. This is far away from you or hidden from you. So that can be career and work and job, but also somebody or something I would have a long-term commitment with. She's a strategist, but it's kind of out of reach. And your moon trines that. Desire energy would be strong here. But yeah, as far as mystical, magical stuff, the Venus and magnetic attraction, magnetism, and the ability to manifest and bring forward would be strong when our emotions, because Venus is all about desire. So, God, this is like a tug of war for you. My values versus our values. Home versus long-term commitments and work and career and emotions and family. Like it's a tug of war. You've got the moon at the opposition of Venus. You've got the fourth house cusp line, and then your career is at the opposition. So that this strategist is something you're probably going to need to tap into if you already haven't done it, to be strategic. Whew. And people don't want to hear, but sometimes, especially in relationships, sometimes, Leo in the 7th, you might have a lifetime where it's like, we're just here to have a good time, damn it. Like that might be our safest route, just to have fun together, and we're committed to that, and we know we can have fun together. I see a lot of people with a lot of really hard charts, and some that have been actually, just as challenging, if not more challenging than this. And when that happens, they just, it's like they have to live with it, You just gotta kind of see what happens. But I think fun would be the route to go. The only thing is the fixed energy. Taurus is fixed. Scorpio is fixed, right? So my emotions, my feelings, my emotional security, my relationships, and then the Scorpio long-term commitment up at the top there. It's all fixed. So, fixed energy, when it comes together, it can be a battle for real. However, you have Cancer at 21 degrees. Ooh, okay, which means you're going to probably connect with people, partnerships, personal or professional, that you have history with on a soul level. And you do have enough water. Like your North Node trines that. It trines your descendants. So these would be people who can be spiritual, because it's a North Node in Pisces. We think prayer, but it's music and sound and creativity. That's a big one. I'll even read the North Node because this is a big deal. It talks about surrender, trust, and spiritual flow. You're learning to loosen your grip on the structure and control that may have given you a sense of safety in the past. It is important to be productive, but at the same time to honor the mystery and the soft surrender of understanding patterns and frequencies and just the cycles. And embracing the cycles and learning to work with the cycles as opposed to trying to work within this rigid structure that I've set up. The other thing too is Pisces asks you to explore realms that don't follow a checklist: art, music, dreams, meditation, unconditional love, forgiveness, in intuition. So whether that's literally, you just kind of have to explore that. If you haven't been doing it, explore those things for yourself, and find out what works for you. But this is part of the soul's goal for you. This is where the growth lives for you at this time in this journey. Okay. Spiritual awakenings may be a big deal. Dreams and expressing, especially at times when you feel like you've lost something or someone, creative forms of expression you should definitely take that route. Even poetry, sometimes people are like, oh, but I'm not creative. It's a matter of just getting in there and trying it and doing something with it. Sometimes people use their creativity for food, making something beautiful, making something that's wonderful, right? Being creative in the kitchen or with plants. And not everybody's a Picasso, not everybody's I can sculpture. Not everybody's a painter. Not everybody, everybody's idea of creativity is different. So, you're being asked to leave behind old habits of giving your power away or looking for validation through others. All right. The other thing I want to add to you here is your Saturn. You have a retrograde Saturn in your charts in the 3rd house. So this slows things down. Our goals might take forever to get to those goals, right? That's Saturn. It says there's no shortcuts here. At 3 degrees, it talks about communication style, right? It's also learning. You might consider yourself a slow learner, maybe not with everything, but something. But the talking, maybe that happened when you were a child, learning something when you were younger. Maybe you were on the slower end. I've told lots of stories of my report cards, that were just like all F's, But Saturn talks about the mind at 3 degrees. Duties, responsibilities, things feeling heavy, possibly even, and burdensome, and work, having to think might even feel absolutely like it hurts the brain, and it's like work. Maybe not now, but maybe at one time. So a retrograde Saturn is extra strong, so it's internalized. The beautiful part about Saturn is that it can organize your thoughts. It can be very structured and organized, and it's building something. So it can be very methodical before it speaks. It can be a very cautious speaker, which means these people, in my mind, are great teachers in a way, because they can break things down and then build them back up and organize them and share them out in a way that makes sense. It's like logical. It's like 1, 2, 3, instead of somebody jumping from step 1 to step 10, and then all of a sudden they're on step 30. It's like, okay, what happened to all the other steps? Taurus with the Saturn wouldn't do that. It would be like bam, 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 very orderly. But this is an energy that wants to build. So the Saturn also in a retrograde, I'm going to share with you anybody's chart I've looked at with the Saturn retrograde. I ask them the same question. Do you feel like you've lived this life before? Does it feel that burdensome, that big, that heavy? Do you feel like you've lived this life before? Because that's some of the teaching, that's what it means. And I don't have a retrograde Saturn, so I don't know. So I ask the people who it's in their charts how they feel about that. But this would definitely affect the way you think about life in general and your long-term goals. It's Taurus, values, money, banking, farming, the earth, anything that you value. Like that pen, it's mine, and people better watch out. Don't touch my pen. Don't touch my food. Don't look at my food. Don't talk about my food. Because it's Taurus energy. It's the bull. It just wants to be left alone, and it wants peace. It wants peace. So doing things to put your mind at peace would be good. A video, a chart like this, yeah. Watch people cook food, especially the channels that don't play music, where you can just hear the chopping of the food. Oh, put you right to sleep. It's wonderful. Okay, Foxy Flex. So a very structured thinker. Yeah, you would be with that Saturn like that. I have a lot of responsibility. Yeah. Um, so Foxy Flex, the fun would be okay, but I'm so possessive. Yeah, I'm blessed with a lot. Yeah. Yeah, that's Scorpio. Possessive for sure. But you have a lot of strong Venus, and that's this strong desire energy. It can be difficult. Every hour is a struggle. I'm a female bodybuilder. That's a good thing because if you have Mars in your first house, that gives that Mars something to do. Seriously. So that's good. That actually is really good. And no wonder you got Saturn building. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. That makes sense. But yeah, Mars in Aquarius can be just so damn tricky. So damn tricky. And you even have Jupiter at the body degree, your physical body. Okay. So this is diplomatic and diplomacy, you know, like I can maybe even be the mediator for other people. For other people. This is publishing, by the way. So whatever it is you're doing, if you're finding you have success with it, it's in the house of publishing. You have Jupiter, the publisher, the preacher, the teacher, in the ninth house of publishing. You see? Mm-hmm. Whether I'm writing a book, whatever. Yeah. Well, Mars energy, loving freedom, loving its independence. But Aquarius, same thing. Big on its freedom and independence and will be recognized physically, like by their appearance. They'll stand out because that's Aquarius in the first. You are welcome. I hope this made sense. I'll keep you in the system. That way we have you. And yeah, you're welcome. Oh, I'm sure they do. How could they not? A Mars in the first house. And here's the thing, the Sirius is right next to it, by the way. Oh, Karma's right next to it too, by the way, too. Wow, I didn't even see that. Oh, and it's about, oh, standing out, but even like a Venus thing, standing out, but looking desirable in a way, because it's a Venus degree. But then you have Sirius, which says, this is how I feel nurtured and satisfied by your physical body. Yeah. And it can even have that performative energy. It's got like a Pisces vibration to it. You know, where we're on the screen, the stage and screen, and we're performing. Wow. Probably yeah, the unapproachable thing with all that Aquarius and the Mars, probably. Absolutely. Probably. Yeah, we have a class. You can come the second Saturday of every month. Just go to my email below. Just send me a thing and then we'll chat there and I'll explain. But yep, second Saturday of every month. Okay, so I got to move on, I think. Where am I going now? Foxy. Let me go check the email real quick. Double check. All right, we're at 8:39. And thank you so much for the generous gift. I think that was Foxy Flex. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm reading the email and I know it says, yeah, we'll leave that private. Okay. All right, so we're going to scroll down. Gibson, what's going on? Would it be possible to see anything about moving this summer? Well, sure, Gibson. Let me see if there was anybody. Gibson, did I skip people? Shit, I'm probably all over the place. Gibson, did I totally skip past you? Okay, well, there is Zippity. Oh, there is Lou S. Okay. Passing. Okay, so let me get, is I, oh, there is Lou. I'm so sorry I didn't see the personal Mandela effect. Oh, because I was trying to do Fairy There's chart. That's what happened then. Okay. So I sharp, are you still here? I'm seeing that you're back here. I don't know if I skipped over you or what, but I'm calling your name out now. I sharp, Laura Sharp. You is Laura here? Laura Sharp here? What is in store? Okay. Oh, maybe I sharp. Slow internet. I am here. I got a free fridge today. Ooh. I got a free fridge today. Freaking, that's awesome. Let me see if this person's still here. Let me check my phone. I mean, that was from a while ago. I just realized. Oh, is my phone still working? Um Can I come with you to Gibson Murphy? Where the hell's Gibson Murphy going? Oh, Christy made it. Woohoo! Christy's passing. Gotcha. 9.5 weeks. One wise. What? Okay, so I sharp. I'm assuming you're not here. That you've moved on. Yeah, Gibson. What have you been up to, lady? I can't remember the last time. I'm lost. I really don't know. All right, so Queen the Empress, I got your name in here too. All right, so there's some random names, but I'm only going to call the ones who show got their digits. Oh, Queen the Empress, you don't have your location. You got your birth stuff, but not the location. One wise lady said, "Hey, astrology freaks, you know it." So I don't know who was first. Was one wise lady or Gibson first? Because I don't think I have got anybody else that's responding. People fell asleep or went to the bathroom or went somewhere else altogether. So we gave I sharp going once, going twice. Lou said she's passing. Hey, Salima, are you here? I know I'm not saying that right, so just forgive me. October 24th, 1973. Ethiopia, 6 a.m. Are you here? I can go after one wide? What the hell? What's one wide? Oh, one wide. Like, who's one wide? I just got it. Moving is the reference, I think. Oh, that's what you mean by moving. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm just trying to see who these folks were here, and they're not responding, so then we're going to keep moving. I've got your name on the screen. You should, October 24th, 1973. Are you here? Going once, going twice. All right, we're moving on. I think it's One Wise Lady. That's before Gibson, I think. Although I could be wrong. All right, Gibson wants to know about moving. No, I think Gibson, you were first, actually. I'm looking through this. Yeah, One Wise Lady. I think you came after Gibson did. I didn't realize. Yeah, Gibson was here at 7:59, according to the timestamp. 8:09 for One Wise Lady. Okay, so Gibson's next. Okay, let Gibson, and yeah, I've become rather wide. Jupiter is my planet. Okay, well then let's do this. Let's get Gibson. Gibson, God, let me see if you're in this system. You might have to give me your digits again. Gibson, yeah, I think you might have to. Yeah, Gibson, you're definitely not in this system. Where's Gibson at? Oh, look at, she's on the ball. She's like, bam, there it is. Thank you. Let me get you in here. April 4th, 1964, 12:10 a.m. Virginia Beach. Can I spell Virginia? I need another I. Virginia Beach. Wow. I think that this software actually got an update and is working. I'm so glad they updated it. They finally have it where if you don't have your stuff spelled accurately, their tech has figured it out where, oh, maybe they're trying to spell Virginia. Yeah, maybe. It's not rocket science. Sometimes, I mean, I'll have one letter off and it like will be, you've got it wrong. Like, come on. You know where Virginia Beach is. What the hell? Okay. Oh, let me get that thing off of there. Question is, where the hell is that comment? Oh, this was back at 7. That's why I did that, so I can get her in there. She was next. Okay. Okay. All right, Gibson. So we're looking to see when the move is. All right, let me take a look. I got to kind of refamiliarize myself with your chart. God, it's been a while. I don't know why. Has been a while, hasn't it? So you've got, oh, Gibson. Interesting. Okay. You have Saturn sitting right here right now. Saturn's going to do a retrograde right on your sun. Okay. So that speaks of work and duty, responsibilities, commitments, and plans. And that's in your 3rd house. But it's conjunct your 4th house cusp line. Saturn represents slowdowns and delays. Okay. Just so we're clear, it's going to begin its retrograde on your sun. Slowdowns and delays going through your third house, conjunct your fourth house cusp line. Like that's when we're moving. Yeah. New neighborhood. Fourth house is moving home. Let's see. So what do you have at 4 degrees? Oh, you have Neptune at 4 degrees. I'm sorry, you have Mars there. That's where Neptune's going to go. Okay. So that's interesting. Let's see. You've got that there. And what about your Gemini energy? Uranus is going to be there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's put this on. You're going to have stuff at the 4 degrees, lady. The 5 degrees and the 4 degrees, actually, 4 degrees is a really big deal this year. That's where the big 3 are at. So it's 4 degrees of Aries, 4 degrees of Aquarius, and 4 degrees of Gemini. Now, you don't have anything natally at 4 in Aquarius energy. Let me look across the way. Nope, nothing in Leo at 4. Let me look across in Scorpio. You do have something in Scorpio at 4. Okay. All right, so let me move us ahead to the end of June going into July, because that's when the Neptune is going to go retrograde on your Mars. And that's, once we hit July, Saturn's going to begin its retrograde. Or Neptune is, I mean. It's all kind of happens pretty quickly around the same time. See this? Yeah, this is on her Mars. Okay. So that could make your appearance and your physical body confused. But it could also mean a lot of other things. But home. So maybe you're moving things at this time because it's Mars being very active, but Neptune can dissolve things. So maybe where one place is looking more like home and this place isn't anymore, we're like one leg in one spot and another leg in the other. Saturn on your sun, which can make us tired. It can slow things down. The sun is our energy. Although it is about the long-term goals and duties and responsibility. This may be a time when duties and responsibilities that you've taken care of in the past, this can be a time of great rewards and recognition. You know, you reap what you've sown. Let me see what some of the aspects are. By the way, this is July 11th. So, of course, days before, days after, and the window's actually a little bit bigger than that. So I would say the end of June, because Saturn's already at 13, so the energy, you're already kind of in the energy. We are looking for, okay, so here we are. They're all at 4 degrees. Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn, and you have something at 2 out of the 3. I would say that's significant for you. And Mars will be on Aldebaran. Okay. Wow. Options and choices and decisions. Something new, something that might even be a surprise. Or if it's not a surprise, it's unconventional. It's, just out of the ordinary. But exciting would be a big word for this. 4th house cusp line is your daily routines and your habits. Like things are going to get real busy around this time and then beforehand, because these are slower moving planets. So I don't know if you're already in the process of packing shit up, or if you're like, okay, I'm about to take care of all that. I'm about to do it. But look up here in air. This is good. You have this at 5. It's at 5 degrees. That's Merlin in the 9th house. Oh, that explains a lot for you, I think. Huh. Interesting. Altered states of consciousness. Looking for answers in non-traditional or occult areas, and you've got it in the ninth house. Interesting. Can be religion and spirituality, but this is like, yeah, you go above and beyond that. You're not limited to that. And it's a nice trine. So moving, some sort of activity. There's 6 houses, all is your health as well, of course, but it is your local neighborhood too, and Mars is sitting there. So it really can be the back and forth energy, lots of short trips, which is kind of what we do when we move. Let me see, I haven't even looked at your freaking nodes yet. Okay, Leo's at 2. Oh, okay, so you had just Leo's in alright, Jupiter's in Leo. Let me see. Jupiter's trining your Mars. That's beautiful. Where's your Venus? She's your great benefic. She's in Virgo at 2, and guess what? She's about to touch in on your natal Uranus energy. Oh. Oh. And it's a really strong trine to your South Node and your Sirius and your Moon. Holy crap, this is a powerful time. Family comes up because it's Moon energy. Your Sirius is at the Moon degree, and Sirius is family as well. So anytime I say family, it can be home for sure. But I can't overlook the fact that you have freaking Jupiter, 28 degrees, right? Property, Jupiter in the 4th house. So in other words, lots of homes, even if we don't own them, like, yeah, I think I've told the story how I had the keys to 3 different houses at one time. So maybe you'll be bebopping back and forth. But something with home and family, possibly property, 4th house, and Saturn going retrograde, the rewards, the recognition, but it does slow things down once the retrograde begins. So, with that said, the retrograde is going to begin at the end of July going into August. And you're going to have Uranus squaring your natal Uranus. You follow? So that can be feeling kind of frazzled kind of energy. And it's a time of breaking free. It's a time of my freedom and my independence and getting out of a rut, especially because yours is in Gemini. So it's possible. It's possible making a move because, well, when Uranus squares Uranus, we are definitely changing up the norm. We're saying, I'm not doing this anymore. So if you're working or whatever your normal routines are, we'll put it like that, whatever your normal routines are. So if you have normal routines and responsibilities with family, at this time you'll be like, I don't think so. Ain't gonna happen. But at this timeline, end of July, right? Last week, maybe even the last 2 weeks, because this is strong energy, you're gonna have that urge to break out and break free. This is all about me, all about you taking your turn because you've already, you've done so much. Now this is your turn. So I like that that's happening at the same time that the Saturn gives you the rewards and the recognition. That's a nice combination. But whether you're moving home or changing a job, these are all possibilities in this chart at this time. Do you have a Taurus at 0? No, but you have a Mercury at 3. Okay. Chiron's not going to get there yet. Okay. Yeah, June and July, Pretty big months. Lots of changes. Lots of changes. So if you don't get a move done during this timeline, like if you're not already preparing, if you're not already doing all that, then I would say you're waiting and for the Saturn retrograde to get back to your Saturn. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah, that means you're gonna be waiting until 2027 for Saturn to get back to the recognition, to the rewards. And even Uranus does a retrograde. Like all these planets I already spoke about, they all do a retrograde and they go backwards. Uranus, Neptune, even Pluto. You follow? It's just that at this time when I talked about at the end of July and going into August, there's the big 3 hitting that 4 degrees and you have objects there. So I would say, for the most part, that if that doesn't happen then, yeah, then I guess you're waiting until 2027 because, yeah, it just seems like it should happen then. Because you have multiple things that line up in the chart. But time will tell. We shall see. One wise lady says, own nothing but control everything. Oh, you are packing for things to go into storage. Oh, so you're already, well, yeah, if you know these are, so are you, do you have to sell something first? Is this contingent on the sale of something? Having to make sure that a sale goes through first? We are gonna have Mercury doing a retrograde in Cancer. Yeah. 26 to 16, 26 to 16 in your chart. That's all in your 7th house of significant one-on-one relationships and partnerships. There's gonna be healing coming for you too. Another layer of healing. That Mercury's gonna touch with your Chiron and your Neptune all at the same time. Ooh, nice. Nice. Yeah, that's nice. So a lot of discussing and talking, and it is about property and partnerships. There's partnerships involved for you. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that damn Saturn. Saturn is definitely buildings. That damn Saturn. That can, I guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, you'll have a nice trine that can be beneficial for you. Because you'll have Mercury and you'll have Ceres traveling through. And that all happens, make sure I'm on the right year here. Yeah, that all happens between now the Mercury retrograde ends by August 6th. By August 6th, she's not only ended her retrograde, but she's out of her shadow zone by August 6th. So you know how it goes with the retrograde, right? Decisions and choices and options. The shadow zone is ended by August 6th. And during that time, there's a beautiful trine for you. With your Neptune at 17, bonded energy, 17, the children degree. Yep. Chiron, and Mercury. And you even have Pythia there. Ooh, you have a Pythia that's really out of bounds. She's the Oracle. The Oracle Delphi or Delphi. Yep. Tuning into messages in the realms from the other side. So healing energy for sure is coming in for you too at that time. Uh-huh. Gotcha. One wise lady's like, my children are ghosting me. One wise lady, you are a riot, man. I love reading your comments. She's you and Gibson, man. They were like, they had like, I don't know. They had their own little thing going on. That was great. When is going to occur over, so the retrograde for Mercury, the Mercury begins. This is even before the retrograde begins because Mercury is going to hit that 16, 17 degree multiple times, three times. So talking and communication. So the retrograde for Mercury is going to start at the end of the month, at the end of June. And that's when things get really internalized. But it'll take 3 times, right? So from that time until August 6th. Got something floating around in here, something flying. Yep, 3 times a lady, that's right. All right, one wise lady, you're next. Yes, it's breaking my heart, but I refuse to beg anyone, so kind of stuck. Yes. That's right. Surrounded by angels. That's right. Ask them for help. Ask your private angel. That's the one that says you better ask me for help, otherwise I can't help you. And angel, whatever word you want to use. Yeah. People, yeah. But it's an energy that was, I know, yeah. With religions, it's easier for people to use that word, but we are definitely upon a time where the traditions of the past are all, yeah, they're a thing of the past. So it's just trying to relate to that energy in a way where it's not related or tied to a religion, because that actually restricts it. Yes, that's the teaching. That's the teaching. Where did it go? Yeah, that is the teaching. Even though there's a whole slew of other, like, that you can connect with and pray to and whatever and whatnot, and your archangels and all that. There is supposedly upon birth, when a soul, before the soul incarnates, supposedly, before the soul actually becomes in the physical realm, there is a guide or angel, protector, however you want to look at it, that is with them before they're even in the physical, and stays with them once they're in the physical, once they're born into the physical body, and for the rest of their life. And they're supposedly this close. Hello. Can you feel me? Like this close. So sometimes if people can calm their mind and calm themselves, they can connect in ways that they might not have been able to before. And you might even need to do little, 12th house Scorpio, absolutely. You might need to connect and do, run little tests. Some people need to see it show up in the physical, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially if it helps to increase my belief that there might be help on the other side, that there might be invisible helpers, right? There's nothing wrong with that. You can do your little tests. I'm used to sacrificing, but it's the letting go I find really hard. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, you're right, one wise lady. And that would be the lesson actually for you, is the attachment energy, the letting go. Because it's for anybody with 8th house and Scorpio stuff, Absolutely. It's their lesson is Buddha's teachings to be attached yet detached. Yeah. It's hard. It's very hard. Very hard. I mean, these are lessons of people who've have been around the block quite a few times. I'll put it like that. That's right, teamwork. That's right. Thank you for saying that. That's right. And that is exactly what they won't do anything unless you ask. That's right. And that is hard. I've got a rope to burn. One wise lady is hilarious. Buddhism, right? What you cease expecting, when you cease expecting, you have everything. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Gibson. That is so awesome. I love that. I know. Yeah. And it is. Yeah, Gibson. Yeah, you could give a class on this shit. You have definitely been through it, girl. You could give a class on that shit with tons of examples, real life examples. Well, we need you back here to talk about the mystical, magical world. That's what we were going to do tonight when it was slow, and it ended up not being slow, which is fine. You know, people need help. That's priority number one. Gibson said, "I'll help you." See that? And you know what? That's a big part. That's a huge part of like the changes that we're in. It's empowering each other. Empowering each other because energetically we were designed to feel each other, to know that about one another, to sense that someone's in need. I mean, how many times has someone reached out and said, you know, you were on my mind, and it was at a time when you were like, holy shit, you know, I mean, like, these aren't coincidences. Like, this is because, as somebody recently put it, the human being, the race, has evolved into a whole different species. Like, over, like, the last, what's it been? Like, it's like the last 75 years, in the last 75 years or so. Maybe it's a little bit longer than that. But yeah, I heard somebody talking about that, and I thought, you know, that's probably spot on. Actually, it makes a lot of sense because so much changed. And then here we go again. And I actually have a video that's coming out. I don't have it. It's done. It's edited. I just haven't put it up yet, but it's a video that kind of talks about some of the changes. Yeah. Gibson, it is your life. Absolutely. It absolutely is. Yeah. Yep. We could have a class together and you could give it. I think that would benefit people. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the Venmo. Thank you, Gibson. Thank you so much. You are welcome. I know one wise lady that yep, I totally get it. There's a whole generation of people where they were just taught to take care of shit, you know. And especially if your fixed energy is strong too. It's very hard, but you know what? Practice makes perfect. So just start practicing, lady. Please start practicing. Seriously. One wise lady says, I just felt it arrive all the way down under. Thank you for being so kind. My eyes are leaking again. Yeah, empowerment. That's, you know, that's a big thing. Let me save Gibson's chart. I'm so glad that you popped in, Gibson. How are your grandbabies doing? My God, you were like busy being a You had additional responsibilities with more grandbabies, I remember. Does this thing work? Okay. Okay, let me see here. I know I'm running a little bit over, but we're going to get you one wise lady and then we'll call it a night. Let's see what we can find out for you here. Oh, let's turn that off. Okay, there's her moon she was talking about. Okay, and there's your karma in the 8th house. You see that? In the 8th house, karma at 16. More moon energy, family. Yeah, we have a individual who takes the astrology courses, and she is definitely on the Buddha's challenge, without a doubt, in her chart and with what she's going through in her life. Big time. Relating to family and children, absolutely. And this kind of makes me think about that too. You have the moon in a lot of different ways here. And definitely with the Scorpio in the 12th. Whoa. Yeah. But even children on the 5th house cusp line in Pisces. You see that? Yeah. And you have a retrograding Venus on top of that. Oh, yeah, you came in with, and there you go, a retrograde Saturn in Taurus. A retrograde Saturn in Taurus, conjunct Juno. Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, this isn't fun, I don't think. The vertex connected to Sedna. Sedna is kind of like Scorpio energy in that it's really Inuit goddess energy. But if you read about her story, it's about betrayal. It's about betrayal. Yeah. And the vertex is just, yeah. It's kind of like, it's not destiny, it's fated energy, which is very different. Vertex is fated energy, which means we're presented with circumstances, with people, events, locations, 5 minutes, 5 seconds, 5 days, 5 years, whatever. It just comes down to our decision, our choices, our options, and how we respond to the fated events. It doesn't mean like, this was meant to happen type of energy. There can be opportune times, opportunities. There can be people who come along that are helpful. At 1 degrees, though, it's a big focus on me, myself, and I, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, your vertex is at 1 and your Sedna. Wow. And you also have your Mercury, which loves freedom and independence, in Sagittarius. Oh, even your Neptune's at 0 and it's in Saggy. Is this your chart? Am I looking at the right chart? And you have a Mars conjunct Uranus 7 degrees apart. Okay, well that's probably, yeah, a lot of 11s up there too, which screams more independent energy, by the way. Yeah, humility and humbleness. And sometimes we just, yeah, I know it can be hard. So much fiery, independent boss energy. Even your Pallas Athena is an independent thinker, and she's conjunct your North Node. Oh, and it's in the 4th house. Interesting. Hmm. Originality, progressive thinking, leading others toward brighter and more inclusive future of group energy. The leadership role can definitely be you know, a solitude with a leadership role, but thing is, you've got that at 28 degrees, and so that when we think of family, sometimes that 28 degrees shows up as the public. You follow? Well, it's not, I'm reading your thing right now. I went back and what on earth did I do in the previous life though? Well, this would be the Saturn thing. It talks about duties and responsibilities with values. And it's domestic energy, so in the home, but can also be with health and work. It's Taurus stuff, the values of the routine and the goals, the long-term goals. So that's a piece of it there because it's a retrograde. And it's probably about being rigid and very fixed. I mean, that's just the reality of Taurus energy. It's very fixed. So this mixture with Saturn says, well, I'm the boss. We don't bend the rules here. And then when you add fixed Taurus nature to it, it'd be like, absolutely not. Under no circumstance, you know what I mean? So it can be that. So it would be this thing right here would be to be less rigid, to be finding a little bit more flexibility for sure within the home and values and money and and love because it's next to your partnership energy. It's just the soul's journey. It's not about, you know, it's not about, well, you sucked before, so now you have to do this. It's not about punishment. I know a lot of people think they see it that way, but it's not about punishment. It's about your Scorpio energy, which is you have come to face some hard stuff because your soul needed those experiences. It's about growth and evolving, evolution. That's what it's about for everybody. But we take it on a very personal level because of our personalities. But the soul, yeah, is like, no, this is just what it is. Don't take it personal, you know? And I know that's like really easy to say, right? um, but yeah, the extra moon energy you have would be a challenge because it would be like, how are you going to tell me not to take it personal? Like there's intense emotions that you have that you might not even be aware of. And here's the other thing too, a lot of folks with Scorpio energy, when they have significant Scorpio stuff, sometimes and definitely stuff in the 8th, sometimes these people just need people that they can actually go and talk to help process things because it's how can you battle something? How can you work with something that you're not even aware of, right? And it doesn't mean that there's something yeah, it just means there might be some intense stuff, intense maybe trauma, absolutely is Scorpio, that's buried deep that you're not aware of because it's Scorpio buried deep, but it's 12th house, which is you can't see it. You're not aware of it. 12th house is the subconscious. 12th house sun would need solitude anyway. And that's how you would rejuvenate, spending time alone. Yeah, it's very sensitive energy. 12th house, extremely sensitive energy. 12th house is feet, by the way. It's also eyes. It's also the eyes. And because your sun is at 25 degrees, yeah, head, eyes, it could be that too. Where's your Neptune? Oh, you have the Neptune at 0. Ah, okay, that can also be eyes. Got it. Okay. Wow. So, yeah, the lessons of detachment, the Buddhist lessons, absolutely. Start getting some of, if you're not familiar with it, sometimes reading it can help. You know, hearing other people talk about it might give you a different perspective of how to approach things. Um, and asking for help because you have a lot of very independent, the boss energy. You just do. And if I did, I wouldn't tell anyone anyway. My own worst enemy. Oh, well, I think we all have a little bit of that for sure. All right, we are after 9:00. We are done and over with. If anybody did not get their chart read, send me an email. Come on back next time. We usually end at 9 p.m. We ran a little bit over time tonight. And I want to thank everybody who sent channel gifts. Thank you so very much. And for everybody who participated in the chat and talked, and it looks like I missed some good conversations, and that's okay. I will likely be back on Tuesday, which is where you can catch me. Don't know what time. It should be on Tuesday. It's a surprise, really, during the week because it really just comes down to what works. Lately, it's been Tuesdays. Usually Tuesdays before 5 is usually when it works. So with that said, yeah, you are welcome, one wise lady. It was just what I needed. Oh, well, good. Good. And here's the thing. Gibson hasn't been here in a long time. So I love that you and Gibson got to chit chat. Oh, Salima, I called you multiple times tonight. This name right here, come on back on Tuesday or next Saturday. Yeah, we're here next Saturday, right? Yeah. And then we'll get you in the system, okay? Because we're ending. All right. But yeah, I just so you know, I did call you. But you didn't answer. Oh, thank you, Murphy. Thank you so much. Yeah. You're very kind. You're very sweet. All right, everybody. We are out of here. Everybody have a good night. Remember to ask your private angel. You know what you could do? You could ask, hey, what's your name? Or hey, do you really exist? Prove it to me. It's a lot of internal conversations, intentional stuff, right? But they can't do a thing. They can't help you if you don't ask. And the other part of the rule was keep it short. Be very direct and keep it short. No book, no novel, just be like a burst. Help me with bam. Like the shorter, the better. That's test it out and see for yourself, right? See what works. See what works. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your week. See you on Tuesday. Take care.